Hello, welcome back to my channel. We're doing something shorter today. Oh yeah, by the way, I did get a haircut. Summer's around the corner. It's getting warm, even though I'm still wearing my jacket, but I gotta get my hair prepared for the summer. Anyway, today's not about me. Again, it's about BTS and Boracity magazine. We're doing something a bit shorter today. Let's see what we're doing. We're doing Is Hype Family a Thing? So is it a thing or is it not a thing? I don't know exactly what that means. So let's find out. Let's go. Turn on CC.
In
It's on.
2013,
Okay.
BTS debuted under the small South Korean label BigHit Entertainment. At the time, the label was managing 4 other artists, but they were
Okay. Group 8. 8 8. 8 8. Okay. 2 a.m. I've heard 2 a.m. Okay.
not even fully
It's a
theirs.
girl
They
group.
were
Okay.
co-managed by other bigger, more powerful labels. With time, these artists started disbanding or leaving the company one by one. Soon after, BigHit Entertainment only had 2 artists, solo singer Lee Hyun and BTS. But as we
Oh, so Lee Hyun was part of 8 8. Okay. Lee Hyun's got a beautiful voice.
know, BTS then became the biggest group in the world. They helped the label survive and transform from Big Hit Entertainment to Hybe Corporation, a South Korean multinational entertainment company that works as a record label for artists and their
Let me figure this out. Okay, Hype Corporation, Hype Label. Under High Label there are multiple. So I know a lot of things happen, but I have not seen. Well, I think I've seen the chart somewhere, flashing from my eyes, but never pay attention to it. So Big Hit Music is just one of the labels.
other entertainment companies and as a talent agency or management company for artists like Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande.
Oh,
But
okay.
this apparent
Yes, I know
sudden
that.
massive success has made a lot of K-pop fans very confused because in K-pop there were always 3 major labels known as the Big 3. There were other entertainment agencies, but just like what happened with Big Hit and their groups, their success was not guaranteed. Only the Big 3 were capable of producing real big groups. So since BTS broke the notion that the most popular group can only be from the Big 3, K-pop fans started naming Big Hit Entertainment and then Hybe as part of a new Big 4. Because how is it possible that the Big 3 doesn't have the
Big
actual
4.
biggest group, not only in K-pop but in the world? It's simply impossible. This quick response of naming Hybe as part of a new Big 4 may be comforting for K-pop fans because the Big 3 always sold the idea that no matter what, the big whatever has the biggest groups. It doesn't matter if the group doesn't have any music yet. These groups will have fans before their debut, before releasing any music, before we see them dance or sing, just because they are from the Big 3.
So regardless how good they are, well, I'm assuming that after it goes through all the trainings, they will have to be good, right? At least compared to the regular groups that after you go through all the training, you have to know how to sing, how to rap, how to dance, and you look good. There are rumors that it goes with plastic surgeries. I'm not against plastic surgeries. I think it's fine to do minor tweaks as long as you don't change your look altogether.
This is how these labels have successfully tried for years to create a community of fans not only for the groups signed to their labels, but also for their company. This type of identity K-pop artists have with their labels is very strong, stronger than in Western countries where most people don't know from which label their favorite artist is from. So in a world where label identity and label families are strong, where does BTS stand? And does the family of 5 artists exist? Some K-pop fans would probably say yes, because the Big 3 and almost every other South Korean label have a strong family identity. But this doesn't take into consideration that Hybe is not even a label and that BTS has very little in common artistically with other groups from their company. With the recent globalization of K-pop,
So before we continue, I just saw that company stand. So does it mean that in general, K-pop, that you normally like the company and you will like all the artists under the company? Versus, I think here we like the artist. We might not like the other artists of the same group. So is that what it normally happens in Korea or K-pop, that you like the company, and then therefore you're required to like all the artists. So why this? I don't know. Okay.
Because of BTS's global success, it has become less and less acceptable to be a company stan. A company stan is someone who is a fan of a music label, or most artists part of a music label. In the case of the big three, YG and their artists are considered a family. SM is a town, JYP is a nation. This family
Okay. A family, a town, and a nation. Okay.
idea is promoted by collaborations of activities between groups under the same label. Like I said, nowadays it's less common to be a self-proclaimed company stan, but the instant success and support of groups that just debuted are clear signs that company stans still exist. But instead of saying, I am a fan of this label, K-pop fans say phrases like, I like SM's sound. Or, I like JYP groups, so I dislike JYP the least. Or, YG is bad to their artists, but I like their noise music.
So it seems like I might be totally wrong because I don't follow the other artists. I do listen to their songs once or twice whenever they pop up in my playlist randomly. I think that's how they get strings from me, because they just kind of pop up randomly. Anyway, what am I trying to say? So it sounds like every so-called family, town, or nation have a particular sound. So they might have multiple artists under their label, but they will sound very similar. Is that why it is? I don't like that. I think every artist should have their own identity. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So they're YG. You know, I'm so bad. I can mention my husband loves Blackpink. I've never really take the time to understand. I mean, to even to know which company they're from. So apparently they're YG. Okay.
I'm not kidding, these are real excuses you will see in K-pop spaces all the time.
Oh, really? Okay.
So company stans still exist because companies still try to make their groups have a common factor. And this factor works as an excuse for K-pop fans to support all the groups or the majority of groups under a K-pop label. This common factor can be a characteristic style of music, a way of dancing, or a common physical style. So when naming Hybe as part of a new Big Four, K-pop fans also try to find a common factor between Hybe artists that can.
But there's no common factor between the different artists, right? We under Hybe, because I think I listened to a few of TXT songs. I do like their songs, especially, you know, there are a couple I really like, but their sound, at least the ones I've heard, are more rock. Okay.
And make them a family.
And BTS is all over the place.
However, although Hybe is very successful now, this company cannot be compared to the other labels part of the big three, because to start, Hybe is not a label.
Hybe is a corporation, not just a label. As we saw from the org chart, under Hybe, there are multiple labels, and label is just one of the businesses that they run. So, okay. It's kind of like saying that Samsung is just phone. No, Samsung has so many other things.
The way BTS impacted the music world has confused a lot of K-pop fans, because BTS broke the K-pop system in many ways. One of these is the way in which entertainment agencies work in South Korea. BTS debuted under the small label / entertainment company BigHit Entertainment.
Yes.
This means that BigHit used to manage everything when it comes to BTS, from the musical direction of a project to the distribution of their albums. But when BTS started gaining massive worldwide popularity, BigHit became a big label / entertainment company. company. When this happened, Big Hit separated the label side from the corporate side. The
Yes.
corporate side was named Hybe, but the label Big Hit, which manages aspects like musical direction, never disappeared. The name just transformed into Big Hit Music. So all the artists part of Big Hit Entertainment, and by all I mean the two old artists part of Big Hit Entertainment and the new group TXT,
Yes.
which just debuted in 2019, stayed in Big Hit, now named Big Hit
Hit
Music.
Music.
Then Hybe started absorbing other small South Korean labels, some that already had other artists.
Yes.
Here starts the real confusion. Hybe's new labels started debuting new groups, and K-pop fans assume that this
Yes, I get very confused because I see in Hyphen, so apparently in Hyphen is not part of Big Hit Music. And like New Jeans and whoever, the other girl group with some French name thing, that's a Frank, whatever, I don't know. And I think they acquire other, which means I think 17, right? Isn't 17 under Hype now, but not the same label? It's so confusing.
These groups are under the same label as BTS, but they are not. BTS's label, Big Hit Music, only has 3 artists.
Yes.
BTS, TXT, and Lee Hyun. So why are Big Hit artists being mixed with other labels' artists when talking about the Hybe family? Hybe is a corporation, not a label. And unlike other label families, the artist part of Hybe Corporation
separate.
don't share a common sound, look, or style of choreography. Hybe is an umbrella company that does not only have music labels, but also a social network division and a business division that has an education division and a video content division. Saying that there is a family of Hybe artists would be like saying that there is a family of Kakao artists, which is also an umbrella company with way more divisions than Hybe. But although Kakao has 150 artists under its umbrella, no one talks about a Kakao family. People only talk about Hybe family because Big Hit used to be just a label, and not any label, but BTS's label. And the rebranding of Big Hit as Hybe made a lot of people believe that artists from other labels part of Hybe are part of the family BTS is from, but they are not. They are all from different labels. And even if the Hybe family was a thing, we would also have to include artists from Hybe
Yes.
America like Justin Bieber or Ariana Grande, but they are never part of the Hybe family conversation because they are not K-pop and they don't share anything in common with other Hybe artists. So if they are not considered part of the Hybe family, then artists under other labels part of Hybe Corporation shouldn't be either. So what about a Big Hit family? This would make a lot more sense since the 3 artists part of Big Hit actually had a family
Yes.
photo shoot. But are they similar in any way?
And they're so cute.
Big Hit artists do have one common factor, but this factor is not
The one common factor is that they are so damn good. Whatever they do, singing, rapping. I know Lee Hyun is only singing. I think he's more a ballad singer, and he's got a beautiful voice. But one thing in common, they are all so damn good.
not a sound, a style of dance, or look. It's authenticity. And hear me out before you call me a company stan, because even if you hate Big Hit or Hybe, you may agree with me. What differentiates Big Hit artists with artists under other Hybe labels and other labels in general is the way in which they prioritize the artist and their art instead of other superficial factors. Big Hit finds artists willing to grow as artists and does not only let them grow but also encourages them to grow.
그다음에 하이브라는 회사는 원래 예술가들의 자율성을 건드리지 않고 경영적인 프로세스에 있어서만 좋은 회사가 되도록 도와주는 회사라는 건 이미 잘 알려진 사실이라서
This creates unique artists, not the same typical K-pop group over and over again.
Yes.
BTS has 3 rappers that started as rappers, not just pretty faces that were told to rap because they cannot sing. These rappers had experience composing and producing before debuting in BTS. Big Hit also chose 4 singers that represent 4 different singing styles.
Yes.
Lee Hyun is a soloist who was previously part of vocal-focused groups, so as a soloist, he releases strong ballads with deep lyrics. His music is also targeted at an older South Korean audience. TXT is also a group, but they are nothing like BTS. Even though it's common for K-pop groups to have rappers, TXT does not have an official rapper because none of them actually have a rap background, but they are not a vocal group either. Unlike BTS and Hyun, they don't have previous producing experience, but they are extremely encouraged to grow as artists. This may be an obvious encouragement, management, but most K-pop labels prefer having control on their group's artistic decisions. This is why it's extremely common for K-pop performers to not compose or even choose the music that will be part of their discography. So in a way, Big Hit Music maintain their old mission, creating music.
I wish that BigHit would actually keep their logo, right? The bubble thing and music and artists for healing message. I wish they kept that instead of doing that ugly thing. But anyway, it's just me.
And artists for healing.
하이브 1회 야유에 성대한 막을 올렸습니다.
Most K-pop groups under Hybe labels don't follow Big Hit's mission statement of creating music and artists for healing. For example, Hybe is a K-pop boy group under the label Belief Lab, which is part of Hybe labels. But although they are associated with Big Hit's group TXT, Hybe follows most K-pop rules. They are considered performers more than artists involved in their music. Their artistic decisions are the label's ideas. Across their 2 studio albums and 3 EPs, only one member has been credited for contributing in the songwriting process of one song. On the other hand, although they just started, and whether you think the lyrics are good or bad, TXT had all these writing or producing credits in their first 2 years. One of them even wrote for Hybe before Hybe had the chance to write for themselves. So although the Hybe family idea is enforced here, there is not a significant artistic factor that makes them similar. However, another label absorbed by Hybe, which apparently tries to follow Big Hit, or more specific, BTS's message, is Source Music. Source Music used to have a group named G-Friend, and according to the G-Friend members themselves, they started having artistic liberties only when Source Music joined Hybe labels. After Source
But they disband, right? G-Friend, they disband. Well, I might be mistaken. I thought they disband, but what do I know?
Music disbanded their 6-member girl
Yes, they did.
group G-Friend, they debuted the 6-member girl group Les Seraphim.
That's the one, the French sounding one. I don't know what they are, but
This new girl group has a fearless concept, which aligns to one of BTS's main messages of self-acceptance and empowerment. The difference is that BTS reached their empowerment message by themselves.
Yes.
If you want to be really specific, RM and Suga did. It was an obvious conclusion by the way they've been writing about the subject over the years. On the other hand, it can be seen in the Les Seraphim documentary that the Les Seraphim members were sat down and explained with a PowerPoint presentation the fearless concept that they will have to interpret. Another label
okay. So there's a big difference, right? BTS never come out to say this is our concept. They grow from their debut from No More Dream, and that's what they want to talk about. They want to talk about, helping the younger generation. So the concept of fearless and whatever, it grow. It was organic development versus whatever fan, the new G-Friend, whoever from the Source Music, they're directors. This is your concept. Whatever you do, you need to interpret that in your face, in your whatever. But we're gonna write the song for you. You just need to perform and have that fearless image. I guess that's what it is. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
part of Hybe that follow Big Hit's principle of authenticity is Adore, which debuted
So who's Adore? Okay, New Jeans,
Their fresh,
okay.
unique concept and their lack of noise music, which is very popular in K-pop, has made a lot of K-pop fans associate them with Big Hit artists. More specifically, they associate their fictional storyline with BTS and TXT's fictional storyline that runs throughout their music videos. However, although their label Adore enjoys the privilege of debuting their first group under Hybe Corporation, they don't like recognizing it, not even to give the New Jeans girls some credit. Adore's CEO, Min Hee-jin, used to be the chief marketing officer at SM Entertainment, and you can tell. She has the mindset of other K-pop labels where they take all the credit from the creative projects. She said that she was the one making all the artistic decisions for New Jeans, and basically that New Jeans' success is her success. New Jeans' album was her long dream album. This is the music she had in mind. New Jeans' music is her music, the music of the producer Min Hee-jin. She selected the songs and she ordered them on the EP. True or not, this wouldn't be Big Hit's strategy to promote a group, because that makes the K-pop performers look like puppets who don't have any artistic liberties. And yes, the New Jeans members may be too young to be expected to compose full songs or to have a strong musical personality and vision. Comparing them to BTS's debut when they were around New Jeans' age wouldn't be too fair, because BTS has an extraordinary journey in the music world.
Yes.
But TXT also debuted at a very young age, and they were still encouraged to find their own sound and become artists. This can be reflected in TXT's subtle but honest music shifts. So New Jeans may have a musical style that is refreshing in the K-pop industry. Their concept is different, and it has successfully attracted a great part of BTS's audience. But this sound and
Not mine. Did not attract me, unfortunately.
concept will not feel authentic to these girls if their label keeps taking the entire credit. Even if the New Jeans girls wrote one line in a song, which by the way they did, that's still something the CEO should be celebrating. But her words make the New Jeans members feel interchangeable. Since New Jeans is the CEO's vision, any other girls can be part of New Jeans. The special New Jeans factor does not come from the members, it comes from the executives. This is highly unlikely to happen with big hit artists. Their quote-unquote brand is authenticity. So why would they give the label more credit than the artists themselves?
Why do you want SM Entertainment when the management wants to go in a different direction?
As a last-minute addition to this video, it looks like despite a lot of tension between SM and Hybe, there is a high probability that Hybe will become SM's biggest shareholders. So many assume that
I think this did not happen, right? If I recall correctly, I did not follow the news. I just kind of remember that it did not happen. I think there were talks, but I don't know.
SM will be one of the labels part of Hybe in a way. But even if this does happen, the SM family will keep being the SM family because there are obvious common factors between SM performers. In any case, they will remain as a separate label from BigHit, just like Source Music is a separate label from BigHit, despite all of them being part of Hybe. In the end, my point remains. The different Hybe labels and their artists don't have much in common artistically between them.
No.
If you really want to buy the forced idea of a label family, do it with the actual label families, not with a corporation that has shares in these labels. So is the Hybe family a thing? In terms of business, it may be. There are many Hybe events and interactions that prove it does, but it's not the same as actual label families. Source Music has a vision for their artists that is different from Ador's vision, that it's different from Pleddy's vision, that it's different from Belief Lab's vision, that it's different from Big Hit's vision. To say that there's a Hybe dancing style or a Hybe sound, like K-pop fans do with other labels, would be pointless because it's not true. Hybe has many labels with different sounds and styles. Some of these labels try to follow Big Hit's mission of authenticity, but others don't. Some labels under Hybe strictly follow the K-pop system, but other labels don't. This is why it's very hard to find real Hybe company stands, because the decisions made by Big Hit executives are different from the decisions made by Source Music executives. What does happen a lot is that BTS fans army end up becoming casual listeners or even fans of other Hybe groups that follow Big Hits, or to be more specific, BTS's message, concept, or authenticity. There's some fan crossover with BTS and groups like Les Seraphim, New Jeans, 17, and TXT, but it's not as common as with other labels. Actually, what I've noticed is that if one of these groups' music starts getting closer to quote-unquote noise music, armies will not be very supportive. So in the end, there's no unconditional love and support by ARMY for the supposed Hybe family.
No.
What matters and what should matter the most is the music, not a family created by business decisions, but the artists themselves and the art they create.
So that was Is Hybe a Family? I totally agree with her that, if we want to talk about family, you should talk about the label. So in this situation, BTS belongs to the Big Hit label. And Big Hit label only has 3 artists/groups. So it will be Lee Hyun, BTS, and TXT, which all 3 I like. Of course, I love BTS, and there are some songs from Lee Hyun, they're just beautiful. And there are some songs from TXT I really enjoy. So I try to listen to other music. For example, New Jeans is just too young for me. Okay, they are just too young, and for me, I don't like those lovey-dovey type of songs. So, like, I'm your girl, you're my boy, whatever, this kind of thing. I don't like it. It's just not my style. They might be great, but it's just not my style. The other one, the French sounding one, I have not even explored the music. I have not been enticed to do that. And that's how it is. If like I mentioned, if other artist songs that pop up in my playlist randomly, I will listen. If I like it long enough for the first 10-15 seconds, I will listen to the whole song. If not, I will skip. So if they cannot capture my attention for the first 10-15 seconds, then I'm sorry, I will not listen to your songs, and most likely I will not try to find out who you are or be your fan. Therefore, I totally agree with her that Hybe is not a family, it's a corporation. It's kind of like, like I mentioned for Samsung, right? It's like Samsung is a corporation. They have many branches of business that they do. Phone, TV, whatever. There are a lot of things Samsung does. But it doesn't make them all the same. Same thing with Hybe. So that's it for today for this particular video. Until next time, have a wonderful day. And don't forget to stream the songs.